Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is June 23rd, 2024. Howard, how are you spending your summer?
You can see my second office. We got power out. I don't know, power surge. So I've lost my internet connection and some power in the house. But just I'm working from the living room.
It must have been that AI, right? Everyone's using it. So,
Yeah, this is real. People can now see where I live. Hello, peeps. Don't give my address.
okay.
Let's do it. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful day in
yeah,
San Diego, huh?
it's a little bit warm than
Hot.
my preference hot. But yeah, not bad at all. We're looking at the chart of the Nasdaq 100. It's kind of been going sideways for the past week or so,
Which is
which is
good.
not. Yeah, which is normal considering how extended it is from its 50-day, from its 200-day moving average.
Mhm.
Um, and we continue to see sector rotations. As last week, we saw a slight pullback in the semiconductor leaders. And it's completely normal for them to test their rising 20, even rising 50-day from time to time if this uptrend stays kind of sustainable. So we saw a slight pullback in NVIDIA, in MU, SMCI, especially towards the end of the week. We saw some profit taking, but in the meantime, that money, it seems that it rotated into, I think, software. As you can see, software finished really strong.
Didn't expect that.
Last week was only 4 trading days, so you can see was up almost every day, finished strong. So rotation into software, also some rotation into select retailers. Amazon bounced near its 50-day, and it's back near its all-time high. Um, Google also back near all-time high. So we
I
continue
think
to
Google closed at weekly.
yeah, definitely close at all-time high. So we continue to see the same scenario anytime a leading sector pulls back. In this case, semiconductors, AI servers, anything related to AI. We see a rotation into other areas of the market, and even biotech bounced in the second half of last week, as you can see here. I think there were some positive trials for some Gilead for Gilead vaccine, HIV vaccine, and then a few others that just gapped up SRPT and kind of started that excitement in the biotech sector again. Obviously, it's still stuck in a choppy range, so you have to be very selective in it. But my point is that money is not leaving the market; money is just rotating. And even though now we're entering probably some slower market action in the summer, we'll probably continue to see sector rotations. So a bull market is more likely to correct through sector rotations and kind of sideways consolidation than anything else as of right now, especially during an election year.
If you told me, so put in the video, if you told me that that could reverse in the market, have a good week, probably wouldn't have thought that. So there's still a lot of strength. We talked last week about like the breadth. Everybody's going to be talking about the breadth. Well, this week you got to see that money is not leaving, it's just moving around. That's, I don't know, a couple $100 billion in market cap. In a fast market, maybe 300 billion, and it just didn't move the market. And Apple's kind of pulled back too a little bit. So, those are to me more healthy signs than the breadth numbers for now, right? They need to pull back. They're not cheap, and nothing's kind of scaring the market. Let me share a few charts out of it.
All right, go ahead. I'm stopping.
Yeah. See if I can share non-personal information.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Can you see my?
We're seeing your screen. Yeah.
Right.
Apple and NVIDIA. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is why people will always pick stocks, right? Like, this is why I like indexing late in my life. and because I don't want to miss these. But at the same time, this is why the degenerate economy and picking stocks will continue. I mean, who doesn't want to find the next Nvidia, right? Look at the way it closed in on Apple,
Apple.
over what, 9 years through, so this is the reason why the people that like hate the game, this is why the game will go on, right? Everybody wants to find that. Um, so there's that. And the next chart I wanted to say is like, there is a lot of complacency. This is one of my favorite technicians. Not, I don't trade it, but just, I like reading Krinsky. And you can just see that there's complacency, right? I see complacency in the VC market, right? People are still writing checks recklessly, I think, too recklessly, meaning I think there's this general assumption that there's a new cycle because of AI, and I hope so, but at the same time, that would be pleasant. Like the world doesn't usually work that way, but it'd be nice. But I'm saying there's just seems like a lot of complacency across markets, right? And so the put call ratio, lowest level since last July. So be aware of that. Maybe a cheap time to buy puts for people that like to trade. The other one that's interesting, and this goes to just how big tech is. We got 3 standard deviation move in US stocks outpacing international. Probably means nothing, only because Apple, Google, these brands that are the American mega caps kind of rule the world. So they're kind of our global companies. They're not, everybody in France uses Google, everybody in UK uses Google, or 40%, 50% of people. So this could explain away a lot of it, that tech has just made up such a big part of the S&P and the world indexes, not the world indexes, but the world's use case scenario, that money just keeps flowing from everywhere to US in a way, even though they're international companies, Google, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia. This is just for people that are like kind of betting on the reverse of trend, they're just getting overrun. This is why I like the trend is your friend, that you can wait, but historically this is pretty stretched. But again, this is kind of a new world in that these companies that make up the US are global companies. Okay. Next one is this. These are all from Charlie now, Bilello.
Okay.
I thought this one goes to the Russell. My friend Raja, who was asking me, what do I think about the Russell? And I'm like, I don't know. It goes to trend following again, right? Like we're back to 1999 divergences between small caps and mega caps, right? And post 99, it was a good time to buy the Russell 2000, even though there was a crash. So all things being equal, keep an eye on small caps if the market starts to correct. And then finally, well, maybe this is also the same thing: gross outperformance versus value, highest level since 2000. It's not like you and I haven't been talking about this for months and months and months, but maybe something gives here. And so those are charts that kind of stand out to me. Not, nothing's changed for me in the last week. I think you got to be cautious of the fact of the complacency, and earnings are coming up in a couple of weeks in the banks. So I'll stop sharing here.
Okay.
So earnings come up here in summer kind of doldrums. People have had a great year. Hedge funds could be taking some time off this summer. Coming up, all eyes are going to be on the financials, which kind of gone nowhere for a month or two.
Yeah, in about three weeks. There's time until then.
Just time until that. So we're about 3 weeks away from earnings.
There is one big earnings report this coming week, and it's MU. Obviously, it's
great breakout, right? Did you get out of that this week?
Yeah, I saw that.
I figured you were going to be selling on the
I
run.
took profits, but I'm looking to get back. If it pulls back towards its 50-day sets up again, I'm gonna get back just because the AI trend seems to be accelerating, and companies like Micron will probably continue to report better than expected earnings for the next year or so. So I'm definitely looking to potentially buy a dip or a new setup when it sets up again. So it's one of the stocks on my radar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I sold most of my holdings in the past week and a half or so, including Nvidia. Right now, in my longer term holdings, I think I only have this one, Palo Alto Networks, just because it's not as extended. It's setting up for potential breakout, but I raise cash. And I
Mhm.
continue to swing, but mostly short-term swings. But as long-term holdings, this is the only one that I currently left. And waiting for the next earnings season, NEMIO, it will be really interesting to see how it will react. I feel like that even if they disappoint, which I doubt, the dip will be bought, and I hope it dips, but we'll see what happens. And
Yeah,
obviously,
some pretty big selling volume, but that came right on the heels of some pretty big buying volume. So
yeah, I think they'll probably 130, 125 will probably be buyers are going to step up. But let's see, let's see. You never know. There
yeah,
are
with
no
the earnings coming
certainties.
out, I'm going to just watch
There are no certainties. Yeah,
the two that I'm really watching for, switching to more defensive is Apple and Google. So Apple above 200 is like, above that breakout. I'm not going to get worried, day to day and, more. And then Google, hitting all-time highs,
yeah,
I don't know, below 150, maybe you start getting worried. But at the same time, it's an upward rising trend. So there'll be a lot of buyers down there. So I feel like we're a little bit no man's land. Like it's been so good.
yeah. I mean, I'll give you a couple more speculative.
I mean, I think Amazon, if you want to,
Yeah,
trade a large cap, Amazon looks good. And then I think, like I said, Netflix still interesting.
Netflix, Spotify is looking good. It's
I
looking
sold
really
a
tight.
little run this week that I had been
Yeah.
trading, but these still look
Um,
great.
yeah, there's still a few good looking setups. And I mean, I'll give you a couple more
I'll give you one
speculative.
other one that came up. Someone was sharing Corning with me, GLW, which is glass
Oh
panel.
yeah, okay. Okay,
And
yeah. I mean, it's extended, I would wait
I
to
didn't
set
feel
up.
that. But go to the weekly and the monthly.
I would wait to build
Uh,
a
okay. Yeah.
build a new new base. It's a bit even though on a monthly it's kind of looking okay, but on a shorter time frame, weekly, daily kind of needs time.
Yep. Yep.
But a couple stocks that I'm watching for a potential trade. Tesla. I mean, obviously big laggard, but it's been kind of holding that 50-day. And if we see some version of rotation, um, it might try to test its that level here, 200 at some point in the next few weeks. There is a chance for that.
Like, feels like everybody's watching
Be-
it. I don't
I
know
mean,
why. It feels like
I understand that, but look at that volume.
I'm
It's
saying like it's just drying up. Everybody's watching it and talking about it, but no one's doing anything. So the next move will be interesting.
yeah,
Yep.
it's just a potential trade, and the other one also huge. Not
Oh my,
AMC, AMD, a big laggard. It trades its valuation that's even higher than Nvidia a little bit, but it's kind of been bull flagging here and near its flattening 50-day moving average. And last week it showed relative strength on Thursday when Nvidia and the other leaders sold off. So there might be a little bit of short-term rotation into that name. So I would be paying attention if it kind of goes sideways and sets up here. Again, I own some calls in this one for next week. We'll see. It's a tiny position, but I would add if it starts moving above last week's highs for a potential test of 170, 175.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's not much going on. And obviously, I'm also open to play some On the short side, if leaders like Nvidia continue and they lose their Friday slow, I'm willing to play them short term on the short side too for quick scalping. So I'm open on both sides, and I understand that, you know, as I said, we're entering the middle of the summer, so price action is not going to be as exciting. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
see.
The okay, so yeah, I'm just checking my notes if I see anything else. No, I'm good. The coverage there. Everybody have a great week. Stay cool, Ivan. We'll see everybody next week.
All right, see you next week. Bye.